gentlemen, introducing your host from the birthplace of extreme, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing in at, well, an average weight for a person of his size, Sean Bell Wilbur.
And ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you once again to another episode of the Bury the Booking podcast, wrestling podcast. Once again, back in the saddle. My name is Dell. That is Devin, my friend. How are we doing this week?
It's a good week, hanging in there, you know?
Good week, and dare I say exciting week, somewhat. On one side of the fence is usually what's been happening lately in the world of pro wrestling. Other than that, I got nothing else really going on, so I'm just gonna skip the banter and jump right in to other than, you know, Christmas coming up and losing a lot of money with, you know.
I'm done.
You're done?
Yeah.
Well, you're done just holiday wise.
I'm always done holidays. I would buy humbug. Screw all these holidays.
Yeah.
But I already bought everybody's stuff yesterday.
Oh, well, I'm still working on that.
Right to Walmart.
Yeah.
Everything in Walmart.
I'm just going to run to the gas station on like Christmas Eve and
you get some
drop a trash bag in front of people. I'm like, yep, there it is. Just have at it. Whatever you want.
My daughter doesn't listen to this. She don't care. She wanted a tablet. I got her a tablet.
Okay.
Brand new, Joe. Because she used the Fire tablets.
Okay.
But she likes my Android tablet. We don't do no Apple stuff in here. She likes my Android tablets. I got her a 10.5 inch.
Oh, yeah.
2023 Lenovo.
Good tablets.
No,
actually.
Samsung.
Oh,
I'm
Samsung.
sorry.
Okay.
I got her a Samsung, Joe.
Okay, I was looking at getting a Lenovo though. They're actually been doing pretty good work tablet wise lately.
Yes. Then she wanted Squishmallows. Those things are expensive, man.
The hell is that?
It's an animal that looks a plushie that comes in various sizes. The bigger they are, the more expensive they are. She wanted a Squishmallow. Thank God you got a boy. Well, no, some boys might like Squishmallows, but they're just a stuffed animal.
Okay.
So I got a Squishmallow. She watched Squid Game Challenge.
Okay. Very nice.
She was into Battleship. So I got a Battleship game.
Okay. All right.
She likes Black Panther. Well, Sherry is Black Panther.
Okay.
She ain't really care for the other one. So I got her a bunch of Black Panther books and stuff like that.
Well, that's cool.
What else? I think that was it. Because the tablet was a few $100.
Yeah, tablet's the star of the show in that situation.
The rest of the stuff is just whatever.
Yeah.
I'm going to get her some more stuff. Like, as I go along, if I see something,
you'll pick the little stuff. Yeah.
But
that works. Yeah. The tablet's really the main event of Christmas.
Yeah.
Then speaking of main event, let's start jumping right into Monday Night Raw. We'll take it from the top of the week. And Raw started with main event Jey Uso. Jey Uso came out and this, of course, right ahead of him versus Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre comes out. Those two, again, back and forth. Drew McIntyre had this little social experiment with the crowd about the revenge. It's like, you know, if somebody hurt your family, you know, wouldn't you want revenge and this and that.
When he called the rando dude out.
Austin. I remember that guy's name because it's his name.
Okay.
Yeah.
He called the guy out and like called him a coward.
Yeah.
He said his face. You can't go home after that.
No.
Like,
no. Says he doesn't care about his family. He called him a coward. Damn.
That was good. I'm loving Drew.
Yes, Drew McIntyre is awesome now. Like Drew
Yeah.
McIntyre is firing on all cylinders. I am highly and thoroughly entertained by everything Drew McIntyre is doing right now because
I need more
all of
Drew.
it makes sense. All
Yeah.
of it is making sense. Drew McIntyre comes out spitting facts. He has Drew's got the receipts,
He does,
so to speak. And look,
he didn't come out with that dumbass sword.
and anytime he doesn't come out with a sword is a good night for you.
Perfect. Came out.
He had something else to say. That's why. He had some big business to take care of.
Tried to rip out Jay's eyeball out his eye.
Yes.
And
so
hit him with the claymore.
Yeah. So all of this turned into a match. The match was good back and forth match. Actually, Jey Uso's been killing it too in the ring. Jey Uso's been coming up with some fantastic matches lately, and him and Drew McIntyre definitely had a really good one in the opener on Monday Night Raw as well. And Drew, of course, the extra added aggression, starting to take more shortcuts, more heel approach to his matches. So he removes the turnbuckle pad, and then that opens him up for, like you said, the eye gouge. And then ultimately, toward the end of this match, was the Claymore that took Jay out and got Drew to win. But listen, I'm all for aggressive Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. This is what we needed out of him.
Yeah.
This is exactly what we needed out of him.
And it wasn't like we got to this. It wasn't like we got to this like quick, like WWE used to do before. It would be, all right, we're turning this person heel, and then like 2 seconds later, like this person's like and then next thing you know, their whole character is completely changed. Like they'll turn on somebody one week, and then the next week they got short hair. They're smoking a cigarette, or they got dark beard and all this and that, and it's like a complete drastic change, like a drop of a hat. And what's been better about WWE lately is the length of their storytelling, and the fact that you see Drew week by week getting a little more agitated, getting a little more frustrated, getting a little more jaded, and that slow turn, I think, makes it mean so much better. Because I mean, if Drew McIntyre had jumped Jey Uso or Sami Zayn last week, and he was a heel right before that, and then this week he's coming out gouging eyes and ripping, it's dumb. Because it's like, all right, well, why all of a sudden are you doing this now? But you've seen it slowly build week after week after week, and we're finally here, like paying off Drew as this, and it's awesome.
Yes.
That like I said, Monday Night Raw was good. Raw was good this week. So next up, one of the talking points that I do want to talk about is I want to talk about Judgment Day. Judgment Day is still very much a focal point of Monday Night Raw. Not so much right now. We got a lot of other stuff going on. We're building towards a lot of other things. So the Judgment Day is there. Judgment Day is definitely a permanent fixture of Monday Night Raw, but they weren't. Raw isn't oversaturated with the Judgment Day as it was a few months ago. Like, every week we would talk about Raw's opening with the Judgment Day. Judgment Day's in the ring for a half hour and this and that. But they're there. And that is also playing into a lot of the frustration and them needing to remind people that they do run Monday Night Raw, which is what we got in the back with the infighting in the Judgment Day. But how do you like Judgment Day so far? Like this part of Judgment Day, especially when you add R-Truth in the mix.
Yes. I've never been a fan of Judgment Day. I don't like JD. I don't like Dominic.
I knew you were going to JD McDonough.
I don't like Priest. He whines a lot for me.
Okay.
Like either going to step up or step back.
Fair.
Rhea Ripley's relationship with these guys is kind of weird. I'm not comfortable with none of that. It just don't. it just gives, what's the term these young kids are using now? The ick.
The ick.
That's how I feel. Like every time they say mommy this, like what are you talking about? But I do. I like that they're focusing more and more on things around them, and they're not the main focal point.
Yes, yeah,
it's way too much. Like,
yeah,
there's not. I kind of got tired of hearing about, you know, Dom's relationship with Ray, and I was like, I don't care.
yeah.
I want your organization to fall apart. I need y'all more fighting, bickering amongst yourselves, backstabbing. Mm-hmm. I'm fine with that. But now with Truth, I like Truth.
Out of his mind. Our Truth is awesome, dude.
This dude is crazy. He has some more going on later on in the show.
Yes, yeah. So we'll definitely get to that. We do know that our Truth had some lights. He was going to go decorate the clubhouse because Judgment Day has a clubhouse.
Because it was Easter.
Because it was Easter,
and then he said Happy Thanksgiving. His head, brain damage. That's what that looked like.
He's covering all his bases. He's going to be, in his mind, he's always been in Judgment Day, probably. But this took us to speaking of the infighting and Rhea Ripley trying to assert dominance once again for not only Judgment Day, but for her and against Maxine. And
that's Dupree?
Yes.
That was dumb. What is
they had a match.
That wasn't a match.
They had something. They were in the ring together. I'll say that. It was not the best. It was short.
First, I didn't even know Dupree wrestled.
Yeah, well, she's been involved in matches. And she's wrestled matches, but this one wasn't.
No.
Yeah, this wasn't the.
He tapped out fast.
Yeah, thankfully, it met a merciful, quick end, and Rhea won. But the story here afterwards was, of course, there's some type of budding relationship between Maxine and Ivy Nile, and Ivy came out and said, she would be in Rhea's corner. I mean, in Maxine's corner against Rhea, and she didn't do anything. She just got a stare down at the end. So maybe they're setting up Rhea versus Ivy, maybe at the Royal Rumble. I don't know, but it looks like they're building some tension there. So maybe Rhea's next challenger will probably come in the form of Ivy Nile. But, that was fine. All weekend, the buzz, social media, all Raw's promotion was around CM Punk, of course, and what decision CM Punk was going to make in terms of picking a brand. Of course, he had Monday Night Raw, NXT, which we knew damn sure he wasn't going to NXT. But
I didn't even acknowledge that.
Yeah, they got to sell you an option. And SmackDown.
I wouldn't even go to NXT. I don't even wrestle.
And SmackDown. And of course, like we talked about last week on the Bury the Booking podcast, Randy Orton just signed to SmackDown. So there's no way Punk and Randy are going to be on SmackDown. So it was a no-brainer that he was going to pick Monday Night Raw. It was completely obvious there. But he came out, did a promo about being in Cleveland and how things were going bad in Cleveland and, his history with the building and with the place. And then he says he's going to turn it around, and he begins it by signing with Monday Night Raw in a shocker right then and there. And cue Seth Rollins' music after CM Punk signs the contract to be a permanent fixture of Monday Night Raw. And this here didn't disappoint, man. This Seth got busy on this microphone here because he was shooting shooting straight, but also in sticking to business, which is perfect.
I don't need a 30-second stare down. It was 30 seconds.
Look, that stare down is going to be a part of a lot of video packages, probably at WrestleMania. When they put together the montage of the history.
So they just want to make sure they got a good angle.
We're gonna get a good shot here.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, is somebody gonna throw a punch or something? Like,
the thing was, though, there was probably a lot going on behind both persons' eyes staring there, because there's some real tension there. It's not, this Seth Rollins feels away, and he definitely said it in the most professional way possible about the way he felt here. And Seth Rollins just straight up, not only did he have conviction behind it, because I'm guarantee you he believed everything he was saying there, especially when he told CM Punk to do a favor and do not call this place home. Told him he was actively trying to tear it down for 10 years. The people in the back, they've been here, they're family, and the fans are family, and he is going to protect his family from people like Punk. And sounds very familiar, because the thing that turned everything around and turned it on its head in AEW with the first incident that happened with CM Punk was a promo he had with Hangman Page, where Page kind of sort of said the same thing about Punk being integrated into AEW and AEW's locker room, and them trying to protect the business, protect AEW as a company from people like Punk, or from CM Punk in particular. And that was kind of crazy. We got the same type of thing here. But I mean, Seth Rollins pretty much laid it out there, saying, he hates him. He just straight up. He was like, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave no questions, nothing. I hate you. But he straight up said, if he's going to be a part of WWE, he wants him on Monday Night Raw, because he wants him on the show, to either, he said he'll either expose himself or he'll get exposed. And he said, this is your last chance. Essentially, I mean,
ain't got nowhere to go.
you fuck it up here. That's it, dude.
See, I'm torn. I like Seth and Punk.
Crowd did as well. Crowd was very torn here also.
I don't know. But he did announce that CM Punk announced that he's going to Royal Rumble?
Yes, so he did say he told him that he was going to give him one opportunity to talk to him like that. So so that was that.
Yeah, let him know.
But he also said because he did say on SmackDown about punching people backstage. So
come on, it's only a $50,000 fine. Punching people.
Punching people. But yeah, so Punk pretty much says he's here. He's always done things the hard way, and he officially announced himself for the Royal Rumble match, and says when he wins the Rumble, maybe he would challenge Seth Rollins. So just laying the groundwork, laying some foundation, planting some seeds for the inevitable match between Seth Rollins and CM Punk, which I am very well predicting to take place at WrestleMania. I mean, a match like that with animosity, a match that people are anticipating, people want to see it, especially now that Punk is on the same show, and there's going to be more interactions. There's going to be more time for more scathing promos or interactions between the two, albeit like done very, very well. This is what happens when you capitalize on situations, real life situations, and you make the best out of it. You see how entertaining this is, like how people want to see this. Man, like I said it before and I say it again, like if AEW just capitalized on that, we would be having a different conversation right now. Things would be a lot different. I feel like AEW would have been in a lot hotter spot, possibly.
They dropped the ball. They dropped it.
They didn't want to do business, and CM Punk realized what it was, and I'm sure on CM Punk's side was like, look, there's obviously some stuff going on here, but there's also within that there's an opportunity to make a lot of money here.
Mm-hmm.
People want to see these things. I mean, like how crazy it was when the whole Edge and Matt Hardy and Lita stuff happened. Like how crazy that was, and how Edge and Matt Hardy were able to have matches and to keep the storyline going in the midst of this real life situation against, like, and if you're Matt Hardy, dude, like how, like you gotta give it to Matt at that point. Like, how do you work with dude?
About that check, man.
Yeah, like, it was whew. But people can do that.
Yeah.
Like they can do that right now. I'm not saying the situation is as bad or as volatile as that between Punk and Seth. I mean, you got egos, you got people, men are men. So I'm pretty sure it's that type of, disagreement, that type of animosity, stuff like that. And the business, you can work with it. And I'm excited to see where they go with this, whether Punk does win the Royal Rumble or not. How they get to him versus Seth is going to be the story here. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out in the weeks to come. After that, we had a match that I do believe is right down your alley. We had Bronson Reed and Ivar. That was definitely a noteworthy match for you.
Always entertaining. Always fun. These guys, true athletes. There should be no way these big boys get in the air like that.
But they do.
No way. I didn't care who was gonna win.
When I saw this match, I was like, this is right in Devin's wheelhouse here.
Yeah, I didn't care who was gonna win. I had no clue. I wasn't rooting for neither one of them. Just wanted to see him wrestle.
Wanted to see. Yeah.
That's it. And sure enough, big boys got in there, did all types of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good match between Bronson Reed and Ivar. Listen, Ivar has been crushing it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely crushing it. After that, I mean, Raw, it had its regular segments, but one thing I do want to mention on Monday Night Raw before we get to our main segment, if there's anything you want to add, but I do want to talk about the Nia Jax and Becky Lynch segment, because I really, really like the segment. And I really think that despite all of the hate that people have for Nia Jax, she really leaned into it in this promo. Like she really she took all of that. Mm-hmm. And, and it paid off here, because the back and forth between her and Becky, and, her talking about, Becky talking about how Nia injures people, and Nia's, unsafe, and she does this and that. And of course, her being proud that she, so she says, created the man persona of Becky Lynch by punching her in her face and breaking her nose, as they definitely showed us, where she connected with that hand, because she connected with that hand. Mm-hmm. Thus giving birth to this. And Becky Lynch, of course, she wants to know, almost like a self-validation thing, that, all that without that, she still is who she is. And she's she wants that fight with Nia Jax, and she wants that confrontation with Nia Jax, and Nia's not giving it to her. Like, I really thought that was crazy. Like, she's like, you need this a lot more than I do.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's true. Cause like, if you're Nia, like, why do I need to fight you? I've already broken your face.
Just need to attack her. That's what Becky
I
Lynch
think it's gonna I think that's probably what's gonna wind up happening. Like you just get Becky just attacking her until she gives in for a fight or
wait
something.
Until Nia is at a match and they just run out and hit her with a chair.
It's very possible to happen.
And don't say nothing. Just run out, bow, right in the chair, and leave.
It could happen. It's very very possible to happen. But
I need to get hired by them. Man.
But yeah, dude. But yeah, like I really like that segment. And I mean, say what you will about Nia Jax. People, like I said, you either are okay with Nia Jax or you hate Nia Jax. And I thought this was I'm neither. I'm just whatever. I'm here for the show. I'm here for wrestling. But I really enjoyed how she came across in this segment with Becky Lynch. So I mean, it just got me more interested in the rivalry between them two. Even though I when I seen them stare down the first time, I'm like, because of the thing, and we're gonna get to something. But I do like how they're presenting it and where it's going here. But before we get to our main event, is there any other thing that you would like to add here? I know your boy was involved in a 6-man tag there in his hometown. Devin's a Miz guy. I will say it every week because he's one of our few Miz guys on Earth.
Not that many.
Not that many.
First it was, I don't know if I was really shocked to see him team up with DIY.
Well, you got Johnny Gargano's also from Cleveland, so you had that connection there.
But the Miz had some issues with them back in the day.
But Miz is straight up babyface now.
Yeah. So
do you like babyface Miz?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
I do.
All right, okay.
It's more fun.
Okay.
He seems the energy is good. His interaction with people pretty good. Like I don't want to see him go back to being a heel or nothing like that because I'm liking this version of the Miz.
All right,
it's fresh, it's different.
I'll give you that.
There's more. This way, there's more for this way. There's more opportunities for him to interact with other people.
True.
And the more screen time he gets, the more ring time he gets. For me, that's better.
Okay.
They talk a lot of trade. I remember when his testicles were a main focal point of everything.
Yeah.
That was a big running gag. But like I like he's a good wrestler.
It's
he can't beat Gunther. Like that's not gonna happen.
No.
I wanted to, but it ain't.
No, no.
Let's keep in the limelight. I need the show to come back. I need to interview more people.
All right. I mean,
I like
the show definitely has something for everybody. Because damn it, if you like the Miz, we had the Miz here.
It was good. And then, the Judgment Day, what they did to Truth. Come on.
Yeah. So
and he don't like JD either. He said that.
Yeah. Now if Truth doesn't like JD, there's clearly a problem with JD McDonough.
It's a lot of problems with him. It's a lot. Like, no, he's not up there with like Jimmy in LA, but he's edging his way up there for some reason.
I've noticed every week you do say something disparaging about JD McDonough, so whatever it is,
just get rid of him. Get rid of him.
But yeah, dude, so R-Truth comes out, trying to find out why they locked the front and back door to the clubhouse so he couldn't get in to put his decorations up for him. And, they bring him in the ring, and Damian Damian essentially clowns him, and then they jump him and they attack him. And then out of nowhere comes the Creed brothers. So Creed brothers come out to help. Of course, the Creed brothers doing big things in the tag team division.
Yeah, they blown
on Monday Night Raw. They blown up very, very, very quickly. And we do have Finn and Damian Priest as the tag team champions.
They're gonna lose that.
So it looks like the Creed brothers are right in the driver's seat, right in the conversation for that. Funny enough, that wouldn't be the last time we saw the Creed brothers, but I want to talk about our main event before we get to that. And the main event was Cody Rhodes versus Shinsuke Nakamura. This rivalry has been building for weeks with, Shinsuke talking about the mystery person, talking about, who it was. And it was revealed a few weeks ago to be Cody Rhodes. And he's just been attacking Cody ever since.
Shinsuke had a great anime promo.
That was pretty dope.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty dope. Like I need more of this. Like I am definitely in love with all of Shinsuke Nakamura's time he's getting on TV, his presentation on TV. Like I'm happy we got here, because when Shinsuke first got on the main roster, okay, it was cool, but then like after the Royal Rumble lost from with AJ Styles, it kind of just like, because I wanted that win. I wanted Shinsuke to beat AJ for the title, but it didn't happen. But like right now, this is the best Shinsuke Nakamura in WWE we've been getting, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
And when he's done with Cody, pick somebody else. Just put all the names in a hat and just pull one out.
So it doesn't look like he's going to be done with Cody, not just yet, because this match was really good. This was a TV main event match. Like I enjoyed everything about this match up until the end, but I feel like we're getting somewhere with this, which it gives us a way to stretch out the rivalry, much like we talked about with Adam Copeland and Christian Cage on the Dynamite main event in AEW. But this Cody was going for the crossroads at the end of the match, and Shinsuke countered it and used the red mist to get DQ'd. But
never gonna get out. I'm never gonna like that.
Yeah, you're not a mist spot
spit
guy.
My face.
But he used that to further attack and beat down and debilitate Cody. Just beating him down afterwards, hitting him with Kinshasa, some other knees, and then the Creed brothers back again. Captain Save a Cody. The Creed brothers came out to run Shinsuke off, but they didn't really run him off because he came back for one last load.
Yeah.
It just couldn't get enough of Cody.
I don't think they were supposed to come out. I think somebody else was supposed to come out.
I don't know, man. I think.
What better way? Brothers got to do with each other.
I don't know, but what better way to you're getting the Creed brothers are one of the last things you see on TV. Yeah. So they're letting you know right now. Get used to seeing these guys on TV because they won that gauntlet match. They were out there involving Judgment Day, which is around the titles, and then they're out there in the main event situation right at the end, helping Cody Rhodes out. So they look like your classic will help anybody babyface team. So I don't know. Get used to some Creed brothers. But yeah, Monday Night Raw went off with Cody not in the best shape after getting misted. So of course we know we're going to continue that going forward with everything moving on Monday Night Raw. But from there, let's move on to Friday Night SmackDown. SmackDown didn't have a whole lot, but it had a lot. So there wasn't a lot to SmackDown, but there was a lot to SmackDown. And let's just start with the returning Roman Reigns. So Friday Night SmackDown opens up with Roman coming back from just chilling.
I forgot what he looked like. I I'm looking like,
welcome to Roman Reigns' reign as WWE Universal Heavyweight
I was
Champion.
looking like, who is this dude?
Dude, who the hell's that?
Like, this ain't Damian Priest. He look different.
So Roman came out. Roman boasts up Solo Sikoa, saying that, Solo's going to be the man. Pretty much saying that, when I'm not here 95% of the time, Solo Sikoa is the guy, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Jimmy Uso thought it was going to be him because he's the backup quarterback and being, whatever Jimmy Uso is, much to your dismay, I'm sure.
Trash.
But out comes Randy Orton during this promo, and Randy pretty much said he was coming for Roman. Roman and the Bloodline took 18 months from him, and he said he's coming to take everything from Roman. So he's trying to solidify himself as the next challenger for Roman's title, and Roman could care less. Roman said that, Randy's been thinking about him for 18 months, and Roman was like, I didn't think about you at all. So, but, so we're continuing, Randy trying to get his revenge on the people who took him out in the Bloodline. He did have a main event matchup later on in the night against Jimmy Uso, but
he almost RKO'd him.
Yeah, yeah,
and nobody did nothing.
No, look, hey,
like your boss almost get his head knocked off. Y'all just gonna stand there.
They stood there.
We'd had a conversation afterwards.
Well, it was Jimmy's job. Jimmy's got the match with him later, but Jimmy didn't do anything.
Nothing. And so didn't do nothing. He just standing there.
But Randy Orton. Thing.
I don't think that RKO was supposed to happen. I don't. I think Randy was just trying to get one in.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it was planned because Roman did look confused, and then nobody attacked him. Well, look, I think he was like, you know what? Maybe I can slide one in right here.
Look, Roman wasn't going down off of no random RKO, so he was like, nah, we're not doing that.
I thought that joint was... I don't think that was planned.
So Randy reluctantly was talking to LA Knight in the bag. LA Knight's like, look, numbers
mind your fucking business.
That's what Randy was trying to tell him, but he wasn't understanding that. He kind of wasn't understanding that, but
because he dense.
So we got. I mean, there was a bunch of matches here in the tournament for Logan Paul's United States Championship, whatever. So we had Grayson Waller taking on Carmelo Hayes, who was NXT's pick. Great match, great showing from Hayes.
Can I stop you right there real quick?
Yes.
What is Waller for?
For moments like this.
Okay, he's just a filler guy. Because I don't see him doing nothing. I don't see you getting no belts, winning no championship, doing nothing important except for getting punched and smacked in the face. Even the show, your show is okay. The Waller experience, whatever, so that's okay. But other than that, you like Ricky Lake. Most of y'all don't even know who Ricky Lake is.
I'm sure they
Google
don't.
It.
Yeah, look that one up. But yeah, so Grayson Waller loses to Carmelo Hayes here. I slightly surprised, but slightly not. I mean, they gave Carmelo Hayes a lot here, but I'm like, he is involved in a lot going on still in NXT, so I didn't know if they were planning on putting him over in this tournament and putting him back on. But I mean, if ultimately his goal, and I'm sure the goal, is to have Carmelo Hayes move up to the main roster, getting him a win here is definitely going to be something. Apparently they see a lot in Carmelo Hayes, and they should. So giving him this win definitely helps. I mean, Carmelo Hayes is Shawn Michaels' dude. Like, that's Shawn's boy.
Mm-hmm.
So, that, of course, on the main stage. And he did perform. It was a very good match. So, going from NXT to there, getting a win in the tournament. And he's going to be wrestling Kevin Owens next week because Kevin Owens beat Austin Theory. So Grayson Waller and Austin Theory didn't do nothing.
Theory's another one.
Yeah, they're kind of the same person right now.
Yeah, interchangeable.
Yeah, I mean, and they're a team too. Like, I love them together as a team, but we're not producing any traction for them. Like, no. I want more. I do want more from them. They are entertaining together. But after that, we seen the announcement and the video of Charlotte's injury. Remember, we talked about it last week on the episode with Charlotte wrestling Asuka, and looks like Charlotte's going to be out for 9 months with the leg injury, unfortunately. So there goes Royal Rumble stuff. There goes a lot of the stuff that was going on between Damage Control and herself. And speaking of Damage Control, we got a promo. We got a backstage promo with Bayley and Asuka, Kyrie, Dakota, Io, talking about, how Damage Control is looking to take over which is, they definitely treat Damage Control like a focal point of SmackDown. They treat them as a big deal. They treat this women's faction as a big deal, which is good. And Bayley says she's entering the Royal Rumble. She's going to win the Royal Rumble and challenge Rhea. I'm sure that's not going to happen, but we also have Asuka and Kyrie saying the Kabuki Warriors were dusting that off. And they're going to be, trying to get them fixed to go after the tag team championships in WWE. And that fed us right into a match between the Kabuki Warriors and Zelina Vega and Mia Yim, which, I mean, clearly we knew. After that video package, the Kabuki Warriors won the match.
I didn't even know who the other lady was. Like,
which one?
The other girl with Vega.
Oh, Mia Yim.
Yeah, I know that was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think you've seen much of her.
Nah,
but
she was tried to sneak up on them.
Yeah, they did. They tried, but we all knew where that was going.
Yeah.
So, that further drives Damage Control along, which is a good thing. I mean, I'm enjoying Damage Control. I'm enjoying that whole situation. So this was their night. They got the showcase. And, we're moving on from there. But main event time was Randy Orton versus your boy, Jimmy Uso. How'd you feel about this match between Jimmy and Randy?
First off, Jimmy was scared. He was scared.
As he should have been.
Like,
he's not like Jay.
He called a timeout. Timeout. Okay. I'll let that slide. But then he look at when Randy had him tied up, he looking at the ref, he cheating. I know he's cheating. He said it out of his mouth. Oh my God, he's such a clown.
Yes, he is. He is definitely a clown.
Oh my goodness.
So Randy and Jimmy. Randy's got Jimmy on the outs. He's setting him up for the RKO. And Solo Sikoa comes out. We think Solo's going to come in, run the interference. But no, LA Knight comes out. LA Knight takes Solo out. They go back and forth. But Roman came out. Roman, rare appearance of getting physical on regular TV. Roman came out to hit LA Knight. Because F LA Knight.
Yeah, fuck LA Knight. All day.
So this turns into a beatdown. The Bloodline beating down Randy. They beat down LA Knight. And then we get the return of the phenomenal AJ Styles. AJ Styles has returned to SmackDown. And he came out, crowd went crazy, just laying people out. And then AJ Styles, of course, all hype, he's back, everything, returning. And then, he rips his shirt off, he throws it in the crowd, and then, he's out there flexing. I'm like, there's something different about AJ Styles. I'm like, it's not the Alan Jones I'm used to. And then I'm looking, I'm like, what fucking Weapon X program did AJ Styles sign himself up for? Cause like, why are you so jacked, bro? Like, you were out in the gym, dude.
Every
like,
day.
Like
hours.
Don't you got like 400 kids? Like, you're not spending time with your family at all? Like, you just in the gym. Cause like, dude came back like ready.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so there's a standoff. There was the bloodlines on the outside. You got AJ. The J stands for Jacked now, apparently.
Yeah.
And Randy Orton and LA Knight. And then fuck LA Knight. Cause AJ Styles just laid LA Knight out.
And you know, I usually question stuff like that, like what's going on, but I really didn't this time
because it was LA Knight.
Oh, I see what that's.
Yeah, I get it. You're like,
par for the course.
Yeah, that's fair.
Thought it was normal.
Like, yeah, that's fair.
Just who wouldn't?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's right there. Whatever, screw him.
Because I honestly thought that Randy was going to RKO him. LA
yes,
Knight.
Something.
That's what I thought. But then when AJ took the shot, I'm like, oh, okay, that's
because Randy kind of looked, was like, oh, all right,
yeah.
Like if you didn't have, I probably would have. That's kind of like what that look was. But yeah, so AJ Styles back. He comes out. He walks up the ramp, stares at Roman, keeps right on rolling. So, what the hell's going on with this? Is what we're going next. Maybe he enters the Rumble as well. Whatever happens, but this is the next thing here. We got Roman. We got Randy's after Roman. Clearly, AJ Styles looks like he's after Roman or anybody right now. But for right now, I'm sure it's going to be LA Knight and AJ Styles because LA Knight's just not going to take it and beat up like that from AJ. So maybe it's the beginning of a AJ Styles heel turn arc, which I'm cool with. I'm okay with. I'm okay with babyface AJ Styles. I'm okay with heel AJ Styles. Just give me AJ Styles. It's one of my favorite wrestlers ever. So I'm down. So that concluded our SmackDown. Now we get to our AEW. And as it has been recently and will continue to be for right now until they get all of their shit together, it's not a whole lot to talk about on the AEW side of pro wrestling for our podcast here. So
I think Dynamite was the...
Yeah. That
was it.
Yeah.
Stuff happened on Collision, but nothing I know about.
Yeah. Again... We're doing a Continental Classic tournament, so you're getting a lot of matches. We're getting a lot of matches and a lot of quality matches, good matches. I will say it every week. Mm-hmm. We're not worried about the in-ring product of AEW. We're worried about the everything else in AEW. We're not getting much else of nothing. But what we did get to open Dynamite was we got Samoa Joe out. And Samoa Joe was discussing the situation with MJF being laid down and blaming Hangman. And Hangman comes out and then brings out Roderick Strong. And then Roddy's saying, screaming, everybody is the devil, but you're thinking Roddy's the devil.
Mm-hmm.
And just gives us our opening match, which was Hangman versus Roderick Strong. Good match. I love Roderick Strong. Like in the ring, now on the microphone, as he's got more time with that stuff. I'm enjoying Roderick Strong though.
It was funny when the announcer was like, he got real tough, real neck strong, real quick.
Yeah.
Like he did, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he did. About my shirt.
Oh yeah, hashtag neck strong.
Yeah.
But Hangman Page,
I like Strong.
Did get the win here over Roderick Strong. But yeah, Roderick Strong is doing fantastic work though.
Like out of everything that's going on in AEW, I care about that the most.
Okay.
I do.
You're invested in the Devil storyline and yeah. And I think that's really right now, that's AEW's biggest thing. That's the thing they really have right now. And they're leaning on it a lot, but which is good. but I feel like I don't know. I don't want it oversaturated. Like they are leaning on it a lot, but I don't think it's enough because it is like their main thing. But I think if they had other things, other big things. I mean, you do have Christian Cage and Adam Copeland, and you got other things going on as well
And I'm
too.
not
But
even invested in that.
yeah, it's not really. It's kind of because it's predictable. We know exactly
Yeah.
where that's going right now. Like exactly what this is, as we talked about, and we'll talk about later on. We know what the setup is for that. We know where we're going with that one. But with the devil, it's still we don't know. Like you still don't know who it's going to be or who it is, and there's a lot of talk about who it could be and who it is, and a lot of speculation about after Dynamite went off who the world believed it was right afterwards. But we'll talk about that in just a quick second. We did have speaking of great matches, if you like pro wrestling, you will like the Continental Classic. I will tell you that. If if you enjoy wrestling and wrestling matches, Brody King and Andrade had a hell of a match on
I
Dynamite.
agree. Yeah.
Fantastic match. From there, we got a backstage segment with well, first of all, we were in Texas, and it was advertised because we have the Iron Claw movie coming out that the Von Erichs were going to be in attendance, and they were backstage. You had Kevin and the boys, and Orange Cassidy comes out and asks about he needs tag team partners for his match, and of course he's got Danhausen and he's got Trent like right there, but he asks the Von Erichs, and I mean, of course it's a no-brainer. You're gonna ask the Von Erichs. You're in Von Erich country there, and of course, like I said, with the movie coming out and all, I mean, the promo was okay. It was a little whatever, but which was good. Oh, speaking of which, and perfect segue, perfect tie-in, I should say, about the Von Erichs, because this actually involves a Von Erich. We actually got a question to the podcast, and it was just a wrestling related question, and it was about in the early 90s about the rumor and the myth, I should say, of there being two Ultimate Warriors at one point in time in the world, because the whole big thing then was believed that when the Warrior disappeared in the early 90s that he died and they replaced him with someone else.
Not too
Ironically,
far-fetched.
it's not too far-fetched.
It's the 90s.
I mean, it's the 90s. Like, look, you've had several people playing several different roles.
Mm-hmm.
You have had that in the past, as recently as like wrestlers like by the name of Suicide and Impact Wrestling, TNA, and things like that. But I mean, those people didn't die and they replaced them. But have been people that who've portrayed other characters before. But with this one, ironically enough, and Kerry Von Erich was the rumored fill-in or rumored second Ultimate Warrior. Speaking of the Von Erichs, this is a perfect tie-in for our question, which actually was fantastic that we were talking about Von Erichs, and then this happened to involve a Von Erich. But the answer to that question was that there was not a second Ultimate Warrior. The Ultimate Warrior, unfortunately, did wind up passing away recently, like within like the past, some odd years. But back then, I believe it was the steroid stuff, like where everything started coming out in early 90s with the steroids, and then the Warrior had to disappear. Yes, because anybody who knows anything about pro wrestling around that time and steroid use it was out there.
Yeah.
So, and then when Warrior came back, he was a little different, noticeably different, a little smaller, face a little thinner, different. Like, then people are like, yo, did Warrior die? And like, is like Karen Von Erich the Warrior now? But it turned out that was not the case.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you said, it's not that far fetched because wrestling is really weird and
a lot of shit happened in the 90s.
A lot of shit happened.
A lot of cocaine.
There's a lot of drugs and a lot of drugs and juice, so to speak, in the business and in the industry then. But yeah, no. But I want to thank thank you for the question there. But yeah, no. That was debunked.
Okay. I'm glad you answered it because I was where I was going, but it got us canceled.
Oh yeah. Your tinfoil hat conspiracies and theories and
I can't say none of that.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Don't. Devin had some hot takes and some theories and some,
Maybe when we grow a little more, we look into Patreon type videos and stuff like that.
You'll have to pay for that. Yeah. You have to pay for that
not
story.
Much.
Yeah, not much.
But yeah, I threw some stuff out there.
Yeah, that theory had to be locked behind a paywall because we can't just blurt that stuff out. Speaking of blurting stuff out that probably shouldn't have been blurted out, was this entire promo between Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, Big Bill, and Ricky Starks. I didn't care about any of this. Like, this was long. This really didn't, they were doing all this to set up their World's End pay-per-view tag team match between Big Bill and Ricky Starks versus the Golden Jets, which is Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho. There was a lot of Enzo Amore references, which, I mean, if we're leaning on Enzo Amore references to get a crowd reaction, whatever, right? But I don't know where we go from here with this because a couple of days ago or a couple of days after Dynamite, Kenny Omega posted on social media that he is out indefinitely. Didn't disclose what the problems or issues or injuries or whatever is, but he's out. So I'm not sure what that does to the match that they were building up to for the tag team titles at the World's End pay-per-view on the 30th.
Here's the thing. Being around Jericho for a long experience of time will cause you to get violently ill. And you need some time to recover. I like Kenny Omega.
Yes, yeah, you're a Kenny fan. Kenny is a very hell of a wrestler.
Jericho. I mean, get out the ring, old man. We like 90, 95? Holy shit.
90, 95. But yeah, so who knows what happens now with that? Yeah. Who knows, where they go with Jericho and with Big Bill and Ricky Starks.
I like Starks' intro.
Yes, Starks. Yeah. I like Ricky Starks. Like, Ricky Starks is really good. I just, he needs that. He needs that program. Needs those opponents, those things to get him out of this, because this is whatever. I'm not enjoying the title reign between Ricky Starks and Big Bill because I think Ricky would be much better off as a singles wrestler. But after that, we had a couple more matches. We had some, again, fantastic matches in the division. In the Continental Classic, we had Jay White and Mark Briscoe, which was a really, really, really good match. Mark Briscoe is having a hell of matches every week. And we had Swerve and Jon Moxley, which was really, really damn good match. Like, I loved this match between Swerve and Jon Moxley.
Swerve got robbed.
He did. He did get robbed. He did get robbed. And, I actually really enjoyed the end of that because Swerve is so hot right now, and you kind of give him that getting robbed loss. which still kind of protects him. Like he wasn't beaten. Like he wasn't like, he wasn't just straight up beat. Like there was some fuckery involved in there, and that helps. Although yes, he did lose, but that helps Swerve's. It doesn't bring him a couple notches down, because it wasn't like he lost clean. It wasn't like he was just like, outbested, outbeaten. Like it was something. There was another little something added to it for that loss, which still helps.
Suck.
and that. But after this, we got the end. Dynamite went off with the 4 masked devils people beating the holy shit out of Hangman Page in the parking lot there.
Put him through a windshield.
And they put him through a windshield, which that windshield sparked a lot of conversation, because that windshield was made of what? Real glass. And where did we hear real glass before? One Jack Perry prior to the incident that ousted CM Punk from AEW in the first place. And a lot of people were trying to draw some connections, thinking that maybe this is a hint or a clue or something to that effect, saying that, well, they just put Hangman through a glass windshield, and there was a glass windshield spot between Hook and Jack Perry at the All In match there with the glass. So people are trying to draw connections, saying maybe Jack Perry is the devil.
No.
You're still going no.
Yeah.
Hold
on. Let me. If I got a second, let me take a look at something real quick.
Sure.
Let me look at Jack Perry.
Yeah, everybody, has been saying
he's too small.
Right. So, and I know a lot of news outlets, a lot of sources within pro wrestling have been saying that it's, so the people who are playing the people are the people. So whoever's the devil, could be, could not be, I don't know. However, like the masked men, they're all who they're supposed to be. There's one very gigantic dude. So, we got a couple big dudes in AEW. A lot of people are drawing a connection between the hatred of MJF from Wardlow. So a lot of people are maybe connecting that big dude to Wardlow.
I don't know. He's Wardlow's a lot bigger than that dude.
So there's that.
Wardlow's a lot bigger than him.
So, but yeah, this sparked the everything blew up. Like, oh, you got put through windshield, windshield of a black car. Remember the car at All In, and Jack Perry and glass and the windshield. The devil. That's the devil.
Jack Perry hasn't been around since
London. He's been suspended from All In.
Yeah.
So Jack Perry we haven't seen him at all since the incident. At all. And I'm pretty sure that we had that stuff in motion prior to the Jack Perry stuff with the devil and all. So if Jack Perry was supposed to be the devil, or if he wasn't, then maybe this stuff doesn't line up with him being the devil.
Yeah.
Question's still out there, man. Who indeed will be revealed as the devil ultimately? Time will tell. We still don't know. Hell, I don't know.
Was actually MJF.
Right? If he was right? If he was just but then again, he was already the devil. So what sense does that make? Why would you steal the mask? Sight? Why would you steal the mask from yourself and start doing dumb shit?
Because MJF.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
I
don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out at some point. Well, maybe this is all a red herring. Maybe AEW did this to throw people off of who the devil actually is. Maybe they wanted you to draw those connections.
Yeah.
We had, so just run through Collision really quickly because there wasn't a whole lot on Collision at all. Again, fantastic wrestling. We had some great matches here. Well, we had one great main event. I'll say this, but bookend by good matches. We had Claudio and Andrade.
Great,
dude. Yes, fantastic. We also had Abaddon, which is good. The crowd is behind Abaddon. The crowd is behind an actual women's storyline because I feel like this segment actually was hot. It came across, at least from me when I was watching, it came across really good with Abaddon beating her opponent, and then the crowd seemed really into it. And then the lights go out, and when the lights go out, the crowd immediately starts chanting Julia. So like they're behind this, they're with this. Like they love Julia Hart, they love House of Black, they love all of this stuff. Seems like the crowd, AEW's fan base, likes creepy girls.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
Julia Hart creeps me the hell out. First off,
yes, yeah,
she creeps me out. Abaddon. Yeah. I grew up in Philly. That was normal.
Yeah, true.
She ain't doing nothing out of the ordinary.
True. But yeah, so the lights come on. They have a stare down, Julia Hart and Abaddon. And Sky Blue comes out, and Sky Blue sides with Julia Hart. So it looks like we got our full transformation from, nice, wholesome, lovable Sky Blue that the cameraman likes to this transition to perhaps her, joining up with House of Black. And
that's what I was thinking. She came out in all black.
Yeah. And I do believe the commentator mentioned her as Sky Black. So that would be a cool name change. If we go with that, we lean into that, that's actually pretty cool. But we got the return of Thunder Rosa. You have no idea who that is because she has not been around since we've started recording this podcast. No. She's actually been out for quite a long time. Thunder Rosa is, well, I'm sure though, she's former AEW Women's World Champion, one of the main fixtures of the women's division when it was good in AEW. So she made her return on Collision. So it was a good segment. The crowd seemed to be really into this, and I hope they do more stuff with not only this situation, but the women's division. But we did get women's action on this show. So hold on to your freaking hats, everybody. We had more than one women's segment on an AEW television show. And then that one was in the form of Chris Statlander and Willow versus Mercedes and Diamante. No.
This was the most awkward. It didn't look professional to me.
There was a lot of variables here.
I don't know if the cameraman was doing the wrong thing or they just weren't in sync. Like when Willow supposedly got her head cut open.
With was a bottle, right? Was a bottle spot?
Yeah. But I can see you rub it on her head. I saw the chick rub it on her head. The so-called blood. There was no open wound. I saw her rub it on her head. Then I'm seeing like people get knocked out the ring. Why are you looking into the ring when you're supposed to be out of it or looking for something? When Willow was getting beat up outside, her partner was in the ring looking around. Why aren't you helping her?
Wasn't her spot, man.
It was just so much. It looked like that match was just thrown together and they were trying to make it work. This is by far the worst match I've seen in AEW.
Oof.
The worst.
Oof. That's saying something.
It was just too much. I saw too much that I probably shouldn't have seen.
Okay.
So it looked awkward. It looked uncoordinated.
Okay, fair enough.
So I finished it.
You finished it. You watched it.
But I wasn't impressed. Not by this one.
So AEW More women's segments, but not a whole lot of that.
Yeah.
Got it. Bring more women's segments though. The crowd seemed to be very
fine.
Yeah. The crowd seemed to be very into Julia Hart, Sky Blue / Black, the Return of Thunder Rosa, all of the above. So I mean, hooray for putting more women on TV. We had the tag team match. It happened.
Mm-hmm.
It happened. It happened.
Yeah.
Speaking of tag teams, we had the earlier on in the show, we had House of Black and FTR. They're continuing trying their recruitment / choosing violence because you're burning pictures of Dax's family. And I don't think it's the best way to recruit somebody, but
no, not at all.
It's the House of Black. People love the House of Black. People love seeing them on TV. And I'm sure FTR and House of Black, hopefully we get it at World's End pay-per-view, that match, that fight, that would be, I'm sure it's going to be good. Maybe we do a stipulation if FTR loses, they have to join House of Black or something to the effect. That would be cool. But who knows where we're going with this yet. Speaking of World's End, we do know that through a promo for Adam Copeland, there's going to be him versus Christian Cage, shocker again. And this time it's going to be a no disqualification match between the two. So this is the pay-per-view match that you're going to get. You're going to get something different. You're going to get more spots. You're going to get more, it's not going to be the TV match that they had. So
see, that's the problem. That is, it's not going to work out for Copeland. Because you got, remember, Christian got Luchasaurus on his belt.
Or, I mean, he has been disrespecting Kill Switch / Luchasaurus. Maybe Luchasaurus turns.
That'd be good to see.
Maybe he does cost Christian. Who knows? But we'll see. The pay-per-view is coming up. We did get we got Eddie Kingston versus Daniel Garcia. Another good match there. And then we got Brody King versus Bryan Danielson, which was, I love Brody King, dude. Like Brody King is awesome, and I'm glad that we do have this tournament, even though it's very wrestling heavy. That they, when they implemented this tournament, is not a whole lot of storyline stuff, not a whole lot of stuff that's moving that needle wise. But being able to showcase somebody like Brody King in singles action as opposed to, teaming with Buddy Matthews or in the trios with him and Malachi Black and all that. It's just been doing wonders for Brody King, and I hope it spins into a lot more there. But we'll see. It's just AEW's just got to get some more things working. Maybe after this tournament, maybe the things that happen within the tournament, maybe, some people getting hot streaks. Maybe we see more, more stories develop from that and from different people. Hopefully, that's the hope. But for now, we're going to wrap that up just like everything's been wrapped up in a nice, neat little package. And I want to thank everybody for sticking with us on the Bury the Booking podcast. Please like, share, follow, subscribe, all of the above where you like listening. You can watch us on YouTube. We got the video streaming for your viewing pleasure. We will talk to you next time. Once again, thanks from the Bury the Booking podcast. Later.